Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, December 4th. It is 6:24 right now. Market's gonna open in about 6 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a couple things here to update and we should be good to go. All right, looks good. A few more things here. Good. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. We should be good to go. All right, as people join in, I'm going to go ahead and start marking liquidity over here. So we got liquidity right there, there, there. Going down to the 8-hour. We got liquidity right there. There, going down to the 4-hour. Got liquidity sitting there, there. There, going down to the 2-hour. Going down to the 1-hour. Down to the 30. Color that red. Going down to the 15-minute. So as you guys can see, there's a lot of low-level liquidity sitting around current price because there hasn't been much volatility. Market's barely opening for the week. It's been coming down, so it's knocked out liquidity on the bottom side, but not necessarily to the top side. So, and I think sentiment is super heavy for a buy. All right, so we got liquidity marked up right there. Closest level of liquidity is going to be right above over here at 36,238. So 36,238 right here for the closest level of upside liquidity. And the downside, we have liquidity sitting down here at 35,997. So they're both kind of far from current price. We'll see where it goes. ATR is currently 10 right now, so it's kind of slow. But we'll see how price moves when market opens here in the next 2 minutes. So we got that marked up right there. Morning, everybody. Today is Monday, December 4th. It is 6:28 right now. Market's gonna open in about 2 minutes. We pretty much got everything marked up for the most part. I'm gonna mark the clean chart over here as well. So mark that about 6:38. Let's see if there's any zones over here on the 4-hour time frame. All right, so we got this right there. Let's go down to the 1-hour. And we got this down here. So it's pretty far from structure. It's not super close. But yeah, this is going to be the 4-hour resistance level. And then down below, we have the 1-hour support. All right, so that's that for now. Market is opening in about a minute, guys. We'll see what happens here when market opens. I think we have news coming up over here at 7 o'clock. That's about it. We got news coming up over here at 7 o'clock, and that's pretty much it for today. So, all right, we have everything marked up for the day, ready to go. And market is now open. Let's go back to retail sentiment. Retail sentiment is currently 81% short. This indicates that 81% of retail traders are currently selling right now. So you typically want to do the opposite and buy. Looking over here at the fundamentals, fundamentals are currently down 188 points. So it's pretty mixed right now. But I could see a very nice correction to the upside as market continues to, obviously move along. So we'll see what happens here. We currently don't have anything here at the moment. If you guys are looking for the original breakout, you want to look for a strong red candle, or you want to look for a green buy signal with a strong candle. If you get that, that's technically going to be the breakout V1. If you get a buy signal and you get two green candles, that's going to be the breakout V2. If you get one buy signal and one green candle after it, that's going to be the breakout V3. I would probably be careful taking the breakout today because, obviously you guys can see how price is currently super far down. It's pretty obvious that price is supposed to correct back up. So with this huge candle right here, you want to be careful because you can get caught in a pretty nasty fake out, as you guys can assume. So price is kind of going back and forth right here. Price is still pretty far from the next liquidity zone right there. And here we go with market open. So we got opening price right there. Or this chart with the same thing. So if this candle closes green, technically this is the breakout V3. I'm probably not going to take it because you can see I'd probably hold off for any other entries. The breakout's kind of messy right here because of the huge candle. It's probably due for some heavy retracement. So yeah, it looks like the breakout's probably going to close out here. I'll mark it up for you guys. I'm not going to take the entry. It's way too risky for me personally. Yeah, there goes a breakout V3 right there. So if you guys want to take it, that's the lineup right there. I'll continue following it. If price comes down and then swings back up, I might get in for a late entry. But for me personally, I think it's just a little too risky. If you guys want to go in for a quick, just 100 pips, I'll mark up the 100 right there. Some of you guys want to do that. But it's just way too overextended. I'm going to hold off for a bit, wait for it to maybe come down. And then if it decides to come back up, I can possibly put a buy stop there and then catch it if it comes back up. But I'm not going to enter right away. Let's see, price pushed up from this lower low up to here. It's pushed up over 1,000 pips. So it's definitely overextended at this point. It's just way too risky for me personally. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Andrew said got that Monday hit again. Yeah, that bullish push to the upside today. Morning, Lila. Ounce of gold has fell 100 points after it reached the record high last night. Yeah, you want to be careful with any entries because of that specifically as well. There's just a lot of craziness going on, all throughout the market. So you want to wait for the market to kind of stabilize a bit, make sure that it's actually going up, and then catch it. You don't want to get caught in these fake outs. Morning, Nikki. Morning, Ryan. Morning, Jonathan. Morning, Maria. Morning, Daniel. Morning, everybody. All right, so we're pretty much just waiting to see where direction goes here, guys. There's a setup that is available here, not one that I would personally take because price is overextended and it's just kind of uncertain as to where price is going to go. But this is considered the breakout V1. If this closes with another green candle, this is technically going to be considered the breakout V2. I marked up this black line here at the 100 pip mark in case some of you guys want to pull out. It already hit 100 pips right there. And it's going to continue climbing, it looks like, from here. So you want to be careful from these sessions up here because price might bounce off that. But you can see that pretty much price corrected all the way back up from this drop. Pretty much dropped for about an hour, and then it corrected all the way back up right then and there. So breakout V3 is still running. Actually, the breakout V1 is still running too. So the breakout V1 was down here on the buy signal. If you remember my analysis from earlier this morning, I mentioned if you guys are looking for the breakout V1, you want to look for a green buy signal with a strong candle. So this green buy signal right here had a strong candle because the top had little to no wick. So the entry actually happened here for the original breakout, and it already hit full TP. There's 3 different breakout entry points that you can get in from. Either this lower point, which is breakout V1, it's like the riskiest one, but it does typically hit, and you get very ideal entry. So the breakout V1 already hit right there. It'd be off this green candle. Breakout V2 is on this second green candle, and the breakout V3 is off this candle right here. So it's all good. If you guys took it, great. If you guys didn't, it's completely fine. It's not one that I would personally take myself. Currently, price is at the session, so it can easily just fake out and come back down. But who knows? Price might just swing right back up and go straight to TP. I'm going to be careful and I'm going to sit tight. It's just, it's a risky area to be trading in right here. The ETR is currently 17 right now, so there may be possibility for actually, there's no trend yet. As you can see, the pivots here are starting to catch up. But once we have a bullish trend, we can start looking for, possible entry for any momentum pullback scalps, and also for any possibility of any high-low scalps over here as well. But we need to have a confirmation of trend. The liquidity up top still has not been hit. It's on its way up there though. Price is inching towards the 4-hour resistance right here. So that's going to be another area to be careful for. All right, so again, just sitting tight, waiting for, any sort of confirmation here. Yeah, there's no confirmation of trend, so there's no momentum pullback scalps yet. There's no confirmation of trend here either, so there's no high-low scalp. But even if there was a high-low scalp here, I wouldn't be able to take it because it's right next to the sessions and it's an obvious red flag. One thing that you guys can look for is a possible V1 variation. So price might retrace down a little bit, set up for a V1 variation and come right back up, right? So we'll continue to follow this here. The 10-point mark here already got hit. So if you guys are going for 10 points, you could have already pulled out by now. But again, we're just waiting for confirmation of direction. It looks like price might just consolidate around this area right here. Maybe until news at 7. News is coming up right here at 7 o'clock. So that's probably when price is going to start moving again. All right, perfect. We got a sell signal right here. So this could be setting up for a momentum counter scalp. We can also set up for a V1 variation. It can set up for a lot of things. Set up for a V2 variation, V3 variation. A lot of different opportunities here that can set up now that we have this opposite candle. Kind of hoping it pulls back down a little bit more. Let's see. Alan said that the sentiment is now 83% short. So it's pretty heavy for a sell for a buy right now, guys, because there's so many sellers right here. A lot of retail traders are trying to catch the top. So I think, yeah, if a V1 variation starts to set up here, it might play through. This would be a possible V3 variation if anybody's looking to take it. I'm going to hold off for now still. Yeah, it's still kind of messy for me right now. If we do get 2 green candles, I will possibly take this for a momentum counter scalp and for a, basically a momentum counter scalp. It's going to set up for another push to the upside. So like quick 100 pips here. The only problem is that it's so close to the sessions. Yeah, Rashida said needed to move off the sessions. Yeah, same here. It's too close to the sessions. I don't like trading around the sessions right there because then it becomes a mess. So it looks like the breakout V3 here is about to hit full TP. I'm probably going to hold off on it if it does hit full TP because there's just no more room in between here. It's too close to these sessions and I don't want to get caught in fake outs. So it looks like the breakout V3 is about to hit full TP right now. And again, it just keeps messing around this area right here where the sessions is at. It's not a good area to be trading in. All right, so I didn't take the trade there, obviously, because it was right at the session, just like me and Rashida identified. It's almost at full TP, but it's just a kind of messy area right here. So if you guys are not familiar with this, the sessions, pretty much these are red flags. Any of the lines that go horizontal, so lines that go from left to right, these are areas that you don't want to trade in. That's pretty much where a lot of manipulation happens. And you can see right here, price is getting manipulated directly on the session. So it doesn't matter what type of entry you get there. It's usually an area not to trade in. So hopefully nobody got into any trades here because you can see how price is faking out. It's a given. We already expected that. That's why I didn't plan to take any trades around this area right here. But it doesn't matter what strategy you're applying. I know there's some strategies that require you to follow red flags, some that don't. For the most part, you should just avoid any trades that happen around the red flags, which will be around the sessions right here. This is the London high. This is the Asia low. This blue line right here is the opening price. And then if you see any pink lines, that's going to be news price. Those are just areas to be careful around. So you can see price is really close to getting to its full TP, but it's not really there yet. It just keeps bouncing around back and forth. But you can see where it's having trouble getting past that red line right there, which is the London high. Yeah, price is close to the liquidity, not there yet, but close. Yeah, we'll see. But again, there's just no entries here. And there's no momentum counter scalp here either, guys, because there was a buy signal on the second candle. So if there was no buy signal here, this would have been a momentum counter scalp. But since the buy signal came up on the second candle, there's actually no entry there. So the only entry that's technically running right now would be this, the breakout V3. And also the breakout V2. There's two breakouts that are running alongside each other right there. So they're basically two breakouts side by side. At this point, though, the breakout should have been hit. You know, it's a breakout supposed to hit within the first couple of candles. So if you guys are happy with your profits, I would probably just pull out here because you're so close to your TP. You're only off by like 8 points. So if you guys want to pull out here, I think this would probably be the best area to pull out from, of course, because you're so close to your TP. And there you go, full TP off the breakout V3, guys. If you guys ended up taking it, nice work. If you guys didn't, it's completely fine. It's just kind of a messy area right here where price is currently sitting. So yeah, there's also a triple confluence right there, which Manu identified. It was right at the sessions though, so I wouldn't have taken the trade. All right, so we got price pushing up higher right here. Every position that we've identified for today has hit. Breakout V1, V2, V3 all hit. And yeah, we'll continue following it. I didn't take this trade here, so I'm not going to count it, even though it did hit full TP. I want to be fully transparent with you guys. I'm only counting trades that I take myself personally. So this trade right here did hit full TP. Looks like a lot of you guys here did catch it, but I'm not counting it because I didn't take it myself. So no trades on my end right now. And we're continuing to look for the next possible entry here. Liquidity right there just got hit. So if you guys are in that liquidity trade, just be careful. Make sure to get in and out quickly. Don't get too greedy because it's getting close to the resistance level right here. Yeah, definitely. Rashida said nice start to Monday. I didn't catch it, but it was good to watch. Yeah. So this gives you guys more confidence in the trades here, right? The breakout. For me personally, I would hold off on it because of this huge candle. Typically, you know, you might get a retracement, but you guys can see that it works out pretty well. So yeah, if you guys want to take the next breakout, you know, feel free, but I'm glad that it played out pretty perfectly here. It didn't pull back too far, and it just pulled back slightly, but it shot right back up to where it was supposed to go. So yeah, I agree with you, Rashid. It was satisfying to watch it play out because it was kind of a tricky trade, but I'm glad that it actually went straight through. Anyways, we'll look for the next entry here, guys. We currently have a bullish trend, so we can start looking for a momentum pullback scalp if you guys are looking to take one here. So if you guys are looking to take a momentum pullback scalp, just want to look for that red candle, retracement, and then look for the entry point here. Other than that, we don't really have much else right now. Price is pretty much pushed through. You guys can see that there was a high-low scalp V2 that's set up right here, and also a high-low scalp and a triple confluence. So if you guys took the high-low scalp V2, there's another entry right here, but again, it was right at the session, so it's just a tricky area to be trading in right here. Just being careful. Today's Monday, so there's no need to really force anything, as you guys know. Yeah, there's just no need. We have news right here at 7 o'clock in about 15 minutes. So there's a lot of entries that came up: high-low scalp V2, triple confluence, and then again over here a couple breakouts, breakout 1, 2, and 3. So we have a possibility of momentum pullback scalp setting up here. Let's measure price from down here to here. It's currently up 77 points right now, 770 pips. ATR is currently 18. It's now back to 17. It's just bouncing around. So the thing that you want to be careful for here is the overextension, right? That's going to be the main thing. Liquidity here is pushing right through. So first level liquidity right there got hit, full TP. Next level liquidity right here got hit as well, full TP as well. So we had one right here that got hit. One right here that got hit. One right here that got hit. There's a lot of entries here that are hitting, guys. So if you guys are looking to take any of these entries here, you guys would have had perfect success on any of these liquidity pushes. So 3 liquidity pushes right here, full TPs, back to back to back. We had 3 breakouts. We had a high-low scalp V2, triple confluence. And at this point, yeah, like Maddie said, market is overextended at this point. So you want to be careful taking any entries here because it might pull back super hard. So measuring from this low right here up to current price, it's pushed up about 1,000 pips already. So I'm probably going to hold off on this momentum pullback scalp. If it comes back down, I'll let it pull back down a little bit more and then possibly set a pending order as it comes back up. So that's kind of what I'll do there versus getting in right away. So I have to see where my entry would have to be at. $36, $214. All right. Let's kind of set it up, but I'm not going to get into it yet. 36. All right, so I'll follow it here. I'm not putting the order in just yet, but I'll be looking to put a pending order if it comes back down farther. So I'm looking for it to kind of pull back a little bit farther, and then I'll put my pending order here. So when it comes back up, it'll fill the order and go straight to its TP. But I'm not going to put it up yet because price is overextended. It's due for retracement. So we got this kind of pulling down right here. I'm going to pull down a bit more, and then I'll place my pending order there as I feel comfortable with enough space between where price is currently at. Let's see. So Rashida said, wouldn't the first entry pullback be at 939? No, so as you can see right here, Rashida, the trend didn't shift until I mean, I guess technically, no, it would have been like literally when it was starting to shift. So it would have to be after the trend here has confirmed. So the trend here started to shift at this point, and then it would happen anywhere after this red candle right here, because the trend wasn't confirmed at this point right here yet. All right, so price is kind of below it right now. If it comes up and hits TP, I can't put the order in anymore. I was gonna wait for it to pull back a little more down to this area, but if it hits, it already hits. Yeah, it already hit. All right, I cancel my order. Damn, it's all good. I wouldn't have entered it right then there anyways, but it played out perfect. Momentum pullback scalp. Yeah, I would have filled right there, Maddie. Pull back to this point right here, you put your entry would have been right there. Oh, it would have been this point. Sorry, never mind. Take that back, Maddie. You're right. Yeah, it actually would have never filled because it would have been at this lower point. I just had my pending order waiting right there because I was waiting for this candle to pull to this point here. But I just realized this candle actually went straight through it. You're right. So there's actually no entry right there. It can still set up again right here. But yeah, we have news coming up in 10 minutes, so I probably would hold off. Yeah, I thought this candle right here was red, but it was actually green. So I thought this right here was going to be the entry point, but the entry point actually would have been down here. But it's kind of hard to take these entries here if price, continues to go sideways. So the entry right here is still gonna possibly set up again. So there actually is no entry yet, or there hasn't been an entry yet. All right, so the entries now is going to happen right here at the 80 mark if anybody's looking to take it. There's a pending buy signal right there, so it's looking a little tricky. Probably not going to enter right away. I'll probably wait for it to kind of pull back a little bit, and then once it pulls back, I'll probably look for like a V1 variation or something. So the entry is technically running right now for a momentum pullback scalp. If anybody's looking to take it, it's currently running right now. There is a pending sell signal that came up, so it's kind of tricky, and I didn't really feel comfortable taking it yet. So I'll kind of look for it to pull back a little bit, and then maybe look for like some kind of continuation back to the upside, like maybe a double body or something like that. Just some kind of reversal pattern to confirm that, price is going to correct back up. But that pending sell signal is kind of throwing me off a little bit. It is currently running right now in profit, or it's at break even entry point, but the trade is currently running right now. If this here closes with a sell signal though, then you'd have to close out for a small loss. So again, guys, if you guys are following the momentum pullback scalp, if the sell signal here closes, you're technically supposed to close out for a small loss right there. It's a very small loss. It's like less than 100 pips, but that's just how the strategy works if you guys want to close it out. Otherwise, the trade is currently running right now, and it looks like it's going to swing right back up to profit. It's got about 30 seconds left on this candle, but there is a pending sell signal on it. So you want to be careful because you're not supposed to be in the position if the sell signal does close. So if the sell signal closes invalid, you're supposed to close out for a small profit. Even if it's around break even, you're supposed to pull out. That's just how the strategy is set up. It allows you to pull out of the entry early if the entry starts to go sideways or if it starts to kind of reverse on you. So the trade's still running right here. And there goes the sell signal. So if you guys are in this position, you're supposed to be pulling out in profit. If you guys want to hold on to it, you feel free, but the strategy here requires that you pull out when you get a sell signal. It doesn't matter if it's valid or invalid, but it was invalid here in profit. So if you guys are in this position, you're supposed to pull out in profit right now. If you guys aren't, then it's fine. You guys can still hold on to it. It's just really up to you guys' preference, but that's how the strategy works. So I'm going to hold off till after news, like Maddie said. Yeah, news is going to come up right here in about 8 minutes. I'm going to follow through right here and see where it goes. And it looks like it's probably going to push right through and hit TP if you guys are holding on to it. But again, you guys have opportunity to pull out here in profit. That's, typically that's what you guys are supposed to do. All right. So we got news right here in about 8 minutes, guys. All right, so I'm just going to take this off because you guys are supposed to pull out of this already in profit. So if you guys are in that position, you're supposed to pull out in profit when the sell signal came up. I'm now looking for any next opportunity that may come up. So if we get another buy signal here, we may be able to start looking for another entry for a buy. However, we do have news right here at 7 o'clock. One of the main things I'll probably be looking for right here is the opposite direction of price. So if you guys remember the news strategy that I kind of introduced to you guys last week, the news strategy requires that. So it shows right here that the news is supposed to be negative. I'm hoping that it becomes positive so that price will kind of fake to the downside and then it'll switch all the way back up. Right. So I'll look for price kind of dump down a little bit and then look for the correction to the upside. Guys, just a heads up, a lot of people have been asking me about the mentoring session. So I've had a lot of requests to have the mentoring session on Wednesday. So there's no mentoring session today, but it'll happen this Wednesday at 2 p.m. our usual time. If the time doesn't work for you guys, just let me know and we'll kind of move the time around a little bit. But for the most part, we're going to be having our mentoring session this Wednesday. I'm going to try to create videos for a lot of the new stuff, like the trailing stop indicator. I'll try to get that up for you guys by the end of this week, hopefully. I just got a lot of videos to kind of set up. Let me see my list over here. Yeah, so I'll make a video for the breakout V3, breakout V3 continuation, high-low scalp V2, trailing stop indicator, and I think the levels indicator too. MPS levels indicator. Yeah, I got about a couple of videos to create from now until the end of the week. Yeah, the continuation sell here just hit. Nice work, Daniel. That's why I was like kind of worried about the entry. So I think now that we have that setup there, Daniel, it kind of it works as a good confluence. So if you guys are ever in a position and you get a continuation type move like this right here, right? Like a sell signal and a following red candle, you're like, okay, I should probably get out of any buys because this is probably going to be the hint that all right, price is probably going to go the opposite way. Right? I think that's usually something to look out for. So same thing with this here. If you get a buy signal and you get a green candle after it, it's going to be the breakout continuation. All right, so we got news over here in about 5 minutes. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, the breakout continuation is something that I think is a pretty solid either confluence or even a strategy to take if you just want to take it for a quick 100 pips, because it typically moves at least 100 pips in that direction. Like for example, over here, we had a sell signal, red candle following it, kind of pulls back a little bit, but it comes down at least 100 pips, right? Retracement right here, but then it comes right back down. Huge move right there. Same with this up here, same thing. Sell signal followed by a red candle. This thing goes straight down super heavily. So yeah, guys, whenever I find something new here, I'm always going to try and introduce it to you guys. It's not going to be much different from what we're already doing because it goes hand in hand. Like this continuation strategy is basically like an intraday scalp. However, you're just not using a trend, you're using direct momentum. So, all right, we'll see what happens here. We got news coming up in about 4 minutes. Again, the news is forecasted to be negative. Kind of hoping it becomes positive. I think it'll be positive though. The consensus, so last month it was 2.8, consensus is negative 2.8. I think it's either going to be 0 or it's going to be higher. So that's a good thing because we want price to go to the upside, of course. We're having the pre-market, a pre-news movement right here now. You can see prices starting to come down. A lot of people are anticipating this to come down negative. So you can see people are starting to sell off right here. Looking at retail sentiment is super high. It's 84% short. So I'm definitely not looking for any sells today, or I'm trying not to look for some sells. If I don't need to take any sells, I'm going to avoid it as much as possible. It's super far down. Got news in 3 minutes. At this point, it's just a waiting game. We got 3 minutes or less than 3 minutes, about 2 minutes. And we should be good after that. Let's check the fundamentals. Fundamentals are back into neutral zone. We're getting a V1 variation setting up right here. I'm not going to take it. Of course, news is right here in about 2 minutes or about less than 2 minutes. But there is a V1 variation that is setting up right here. It's right at the sessions too, so I wouldn't take it. It's just too close to the sessions and it's too close to news. But yeah, there's a V1 variation setting up right there. If it closes green, it's got to close green. Yeah, it's so annoying with news. Yeah, it's too close to news. I don't want to risk it because if news comes up, it might have a spike down or it might have a spike up. So, I mean, you can get lucky, but you can also get unlucky. So I wouldn't mess with it. It's a tricky V1 though. It closed super small. So you can see the market is now kind of flat. A lot of people are just waiting for the news to come out. We got news right here in about 30 seconds. So let's see what's going on with the news over here. 30 seconds till news. There's no movement here. The candles are completely flat. All right, let's see what's going on here with the news. "15 seconds till news. We got 10 seconds till news. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. News is now released. News was, let's see. So it looks like that V1 would have hit. If you guys take the V1 that I marked up right there. Full T, or not yet, actually. Yeah, actually full TP. So full TP right there for a V1 variation. Let's check the news. News still hasn't updated. It's negative. Okay, it's super negative. So you can probably anticipate price to come down. So you can probably anticipate price to maybe push up a little bit and then come back down. So maybe look for a V1 variation in the opposite direction, or this is what I would probably look for here. The V1 already hit here. It's going to be hard to catch a V1 because you currently have a sell signal here already. So what you might want to see is look for a double body pattern, or look for price to push up slightly above the sessions and break back below. I think if this is the case here and it fakes out and comes back down below here, it's probably going to continue falling. Maybe not for a long period, but for at least enough for the news here to kind of confirm. So we got news price right there. I'm going to change the colors. Yeah, we got news right there. And that's that. So at this point, yeah, you want to be careful because the news is negative. So you're expecting price to come down. If anything, I wanted price to do the opposite, push up like this for the fake out and then come back down so I can take it for a quick 100 pips or something like that, right? I wouldn't chase the drop here because just like what Maddie said, he said, I think this is going to be a temporary drop and then a stop hunt back up. I agree with Maddie 100%. I think this drop here is going to be only temporary. It's not it's just factory orders. It's nothing that's super high impact. So this here, I'm not really expecting it to drop very heavily. I would only take the sell if I was to get in for a discount. So if price pulled up a little bit and came back down, then I would get in for that small discount. But right now, there's just no discount. At this point, you're kind of getting in at a premium. Because if you wanted to trade news, you should have gotten in like way up here. So I wouldn't chase any sells at this moment. Sell should have happened right there or anywhere above it so that you can get a discount. At this point, you're paying a premium. You've already given away like 400 pips. So it's like, there's no point in entering at this point. Kind of lost your opportunity, which was up here. So there's actually the double body that I was talking about right there, guys. So as you guys can see, the double body did set up. I said it was going to be hard for a V1 because we already had a sell signal, but I said, look for that V1, for that double body pattern. And it actually happened right here. Flat line double body right there. You could have taken that for the sell at that point. But again, you would still have it. You'd still get in at a premium. So I wouldn't have taken it. I would look for a double body that would happen somewhere up here above news price. There's another V1 variation setting up right here. I wouldn't recommend anybody take that because it's just in a tricky area. I mean, if you guys want to take it, feel free. But there is a V1 variation that is setting up right there if it closes green. There's a double body right there. Pending buy signal, retail sentiment super strong. I'd probably look for price to come down a bit and then look for that reversal whenever it does happen. Or look for green candle with a green buy signal with a green candle, and that'll confirm also direction. So here goes a V1 variation setting up right here, correction back up to news price. Yeah, this news here wasn't super high impact, but doesn't necessarily mean that there's no effect. Looks like one of the news here got deleted and get announced. It was just factory orders. All right, so there's a V1 variation that's currently running right now. It's in profit. Again, not one that I would recommend because of obvious reasons here. The news was negative. You didn't really have a big reaction to the news. So news happened right here. Price is only pushed down a max of like Yeah, 400 pips. So it hasn't really moved very much. We have a lot of sideways movement here though. So price actually got up to the 4-hour resistance. So you guys can see my markup here. I marked this up earlier. I said price will probably get up to the 4-hour resistance and then come back down like it's always had. It's nothing new here. Same situation that's been happening for the past couple of weeks now. Price kind of gets up to the 4-hour or 1-hour resistance level, and then it just comes straight back down. Or the support level, same thing. So these trades are already done. And we'll see what happens next. So that V1 variation is still running. We're looking for, we're just looking for some direction here. So we'll see if the trend shifts. If the trend shifts to the downside, that's fine. If the trend shifts back to the upside for correction, that's fine too. But again, today's Monday. I'm going to be a little careful. You know, typically Mondays and Fridays are the riskier days to trade. Monday because people are re-entering the market from the weekend. That's why you get the big bullish push right here. And then Friday, typically people are exiting the market, so you get the sell-off. But there's other stuff going on behind the scenes. It's not just Monday, Friday. You know, it's the holiday season. A lot of news events being released. Let me check what else we have for today. We have a 6-month and 3-month bill auction. Tomorrow we have some high impact news at 6:45. I think this will have a higher impact. Of course, it's high impact news. We have a lot of high impact news tomorrow. We have global services PMI, just inflation news. We have ISM services PMI, some more inflation news, JOLTS job openings. Yeah, I think so. Let me see. PMI. I'm expecting a lot of the news to be positive tomorrow. JOLTS job openings, I'm expecting it to be positive because we're going to the holiday season. So last month, I'm sure that a lot of businesses have been hiring, but there has also been a lot of layoffs too. Also, this Friday, as Alan mentioned, is NFP. So this whole week's going to be kind of all over the place. It's NFP week, guys. Again, another reason why Monday is going to be a very risky day. The thing with NFP week, guys, is that Monday will be the it'll probably give you some hints and it'll give you some direction as to like what's probably going to happen in the market. So if the market is super clean and volatile on Monday, like it was this morning, pretty much every entry that has come up here this morning has hit TP. That's a good sign because if all of our entries are hitting on Monday, it's likely to continue happening throughout the week. So just keep that in mind if you guys are looking. We currently have a buy signal here that is currently pending. So if this here closes, we might have a continuation to the upside. So you might want to look for that green candle after the buy signal to confirm, continuation to the upside. The only problem here that you guys want to be careful for is going to be the sessions, right? You don't want to get caught in the sessions again, but odds of price pushing up higher from this point is very likely. It looks like price is now finally correcting up from news price there, but again, you just want to be careful. It looks like price is really just going sideways now. It's starting to create a range here, right? So I'm going to go over to our clean chart right here. I'm going to go and mark up the lower low at this point. Yeah, so price is pretty much ranging between these two zones right here right now. You guys can see. Not really too much going on. The volatility here has died down quite a bit. Not really much direction. Buy signal didn't close. There's no entry here. So this here could close as an invalid buy signal, which is fine. Again, if you guys are looking for that continuation, it's probably a better sign that it closes invalid. So no buy signal there. Yeah, Camel said he got excited for a minute. Yeah, I was hoping it would close out so that it'd be a pretty solid entry. But again, right now it's just going back and forth. This might close with the buy signal. Once it closes, we'll see if it confirms the direction of momentum, and you can follow it with the next possible opportunity. Yeah, Patricia said she would like this to come down a little bit before the push up. I agree too, Patricia. It'd be better because it looks like we get a better discount if price would kind of, pull down a little bit and then have that correction right back up. It's just getting too close to the sessions, and that's kind of what I'm afraid of and what I don't like trading at. So yeah, I'm with you on that one, Patricia. I'd like it to drop down a little bit and come back up. I'm gonna buy a signal there. Let's see. Andrew said high-low momentum scalp is not valid because of the lower high in between, right? Yeah, so that's one of the things that's causing it to be invalid. Usually, if you get the buy signal, it'll break right past it, and then it'll just invalidate this. Like this will just disappear. So usually it's not really the case, but yeah, it looks like there's like 4 candles past it now, so it's about to be established. So now that it's been established, that would be the case why there'd be no high-low momentum scalp there. It looks like, yeah, so you can see right there how it kind of erased, Andrew. But again, this candle here broke and closed past it already, broke and closed past pivot 2. So that's the reason why there's no entry there for high-low momentum scalp. But yeah, if this here would have closed as a buy signal, or if it pushed up higher and it closed with a buy signal, that would have been the entry there because there would be no lows or no high lows in between. But yeah, so what you identified earlier was correct. That was a reason why there wouldn't be. Now the next reason is because this candle broke and closed past it already. Yeah, and you said all these new strategies hard to keep up. Yeah, no, definitely. That's why I always recommend that people stick to like 2 strategies, because a lot of these strategies are the same. Like if you look at the breakout entries from this morning, they all came up around the same candle. They're like maybe 1 or 2 candle difference, but they all hit TP. And then for the high-low scalps, they're very similar because you're looking for price to either establish a low or you're looking for it to break or close above a higher low. So they're kind of similar, but like usually you want to stay within like one style. I think in the future I'll organize the video so that all of the breakouts are in like one section, all the high-low scalps are in one section because they're very similar. It's just different entry points. So I think like the high lows would go good with the high-low momentum scalps because you can either catch the top of the bottoms or you can catch the break and close past structure. So yeah, but I agree with you, Andrew. There's just a lot of strategies that come up. Some of them are like very similar and some of them aren't. But again, guys, there's no buy signal here, so there's no entry for us to take at the moment. We're kind of just waiting. It's back and forth sideways movement. So if you guys saw the structure that I drew up over here, it's pretty much doing that. There's not really too much going on here. Yeah, Maddie said that they're luring in retail here. I agree. It's going to keep going sideways until it eventually breaks out. Breakout's going to happen eventually. It's not here yet. There's no confirmation of trend here, so we can't really take any momentum pullback scalps, and we can't take any high-low scalps, at least not yet. The ATR is currently at 15 right now, so it's kind of slowing down a bit, but we're hoping that it does pick back up and continues to, move in the direction. There's another V1 variation here setting up. There was one that was over here. This already get full TP. So full TP right there. And then we have another V1 variation that's also setting up right here. As well, if you guys are looking to take it. I think it's a little tricky. I'm personally not going to take it. I'll follow it for you guys. I mean, it looks like it could play through though if it does end up closing. It's just these candles here are so small and they're so slow that you have to like literally wait for the candle to close. As you can see, it was green earlier. Now it's back to red and probably no entry there now. Yeah, Andrew said, gotta rewatch the triple confluence video. Maddie calls out and it hits. So there goes the V1 variation, guys, right there. If anybody decided to take it, it's currently running right now in profit. Yeah, the triple confluence is basically just 3 strategies in one. It's a high-low scalp, intraday scalp, and a pivot scalp. But if you can confirm 3 different strategies, it doesn't have to be those specific 3. It would be another triple confluence, right? So you have 3 different back-to-back strategies that all hit. And it just kind of confirms that it's going to have so much confluence that it'll likely play through. So I'm not in this position here for the V1 variation, guys. You can see price is kind of just going sideways. It's not the type of market that I want to trade in. The ATR is now down to 14, so you can see the volatility has died down quite a bit. There's no other news today aside from the news at 8:30, which is low impact. So I'm hoping we get some volatility here, as price continues to move along. But if not, then I'm not going to force anything here. Kind of sucks because we missed out on all the breakouts this morning, and those are like pretty good trades. Okay, so the V1 variation right there, full TP, if anybody decided to take it, great work to whoever caught it. I didn't take the trade, so obviously it's not going to count as an official entry, but you can see here that I am marking them up for you guys if you guys do decide to take these trades here as they come up. So another full TP right there. Everything's been hitting today. All the breakouts have hit full TP. The liquidity all hit full TP. There's just so many entries that keep coming up. The only problem here, again, that we're facing is that the volatility here is super low. The ATR is going between 14 and 15, which is not the best. Typically you want it consistently above 15, but we're just gonna have to sit tight. Yeah, Maddie said, I feel like it's just gonna range back and forth. Either way, I'm gonna wait for a clean entry. Yeah, same here, Maddie. Not gonna force anything today. It's gonna wait for something to come up that's worthwhile, of course. Spark is going on. So here we go as price starts to climb up even further. I mean, we're getting like some bigger candles here, but the volatility is still pretty low because there's not really much direction. I'm kind of just waiting for this buy signal to come up. Once the buy signal comes up, I'll see where this ends at. Because that momentum is going to be the real deciding factor is direction of price. So I think once we get the buy signal, we'll start to see some direction. Retail sentiment here is kind of dropped down a bit. It's back to 82%. It was at 84 earlier. You can see a lot of retail traders here kind of just chickened out and they pulled out of their position. Or they probably got stopped out. They probably entered down here. Their stop loss was super tight and they probably just got stopped out. Yeah, Kip said, I think the buy signal will be a pivot scalp on the way up. Yeah, and I agree with you too. Kip. Definitely do agree with you too. I think that buy signal is going to be the direction. Once we have the buy signal, the direction is going to start to be set and it's going to start climbing back up. I mean, price is pretty much just ranging around this area. Eventually it's going to have to break out, right? To the upside, most likely. But you guys can see right here, there's not really much direction. It's just going back and forth. It's been ranging for the past 20 minutes now, 20 to 30 minutes. Price has just been going sideways. Obviously, as you guys know, not a good area to trade in. Probably want to hold off for entries. So we got some profits over here from Valentine. Valentine locked in a total profit of 3,403 for the day. All wins here. Nice work, Valentine. We got Valentine's earlier profits, 390. All wins there. We've got Cam here, total profit, 4,111. He took the breakout. Nice work, Cam. Cam right here took the breakout to full TP, total profit of 2,000 on that one trade. So nice work right there, Cam. And we have Kenny over here with a total profit of 5,140 for the day. All wins. Nice work, Kenny. So, all right, guys, if you guys have more profits to post up, feel free to send them in. That's pretty much it for right now. But as you guys can see, price is literally going sideways. There's no direction here at all. I'm just waiting for that buy signal. That buy signal is going to kind of confirm the breakout, and then we'll see if there's a continuation from there. But, you know, it's all about patience. That's kind of what the name of the game is. So we just got to wait. You know, as it gets closer to 7:30, it becomes a lot more tricky. So I think, you know, if it gets too close to 7:30, you might want to sit out if you haven't taken anything yet. Because I feel like once you get to 7:30, a lot of people start to get FOMO, right? And you kind of just try to force a trade in there. So unless it's like super quality and there's like some like analysis and confluence behind it, then I would probably sit out of it. Because I've seen a lot of people who try to force trades when it gets closer to 8 o'clock and the volatility just stays pretty flat. So we got this buy signal right here that's pending. I'm hoping it finally closes. Once it closes, hopefully we'll get some direction there. But yeah, buy signal right here. Yeah, exactly. Man, he said no need to force any trades. We got all week. Yeah, same. I agree. And this is a good thing because Monday was so good for us today that we're going to expect a lot of this continuation of like, you know, increased volatility in our trades to be hitting for the rest of the week. So on Monday today, I mean, this is a great sign that we had all the breakouts hit, we had all the liquidity hit, we had pretty much a lot of these other entries kind of line up, all the V1 variations hit, momentum pullback scalps hit. It's basically a preview to this week. So, and again, the buy signal there did not close. I was hoping it closed finally, and then we'd have some sort of direction, but again, it's just going sideways here. You guys can see from these candles here, it's pretty flat. Like if I wanted to draw a structure here, I can literally just draw, I can literally just draw a line right here and a line right here. And you can see that there's like literally no direction right here. So guess we're just waiting. Yeah, Maddie said Monday foreshadowing a nice market this week after a long drought. Yeah, exactly, Maddie. A lot of sideways movement, not too many entries for like the past couple months. But yeah, today was a good little setup with a lot of the entries that might be coming up for the rest of the week. Kevin said the buy signal is playing hide and seek with us. Yeah, it comes up and it disappears. So I think it's good that we're waiting for the confirmation after the buy signal because typically, you know, people get kind of psyched out entering the buy signal or the sell signal because it'll disappear at the very last second. But now that we have a confirmation, it's a lot easier to just hop into it when it comes up. Rashida said the DXY is looking bullish. That's good. All right. So if the DXY is looking bullish, then that's good for US30 for the most part. It's not a direct correlation, but you know, if the dollar is doing good, these US stocks should be doing good as well. So that's good. So we probably can, I anticipate a bullish correction soon. But as you guys can see, there's nothing going on here. So as price gets closer and closer, it's really starting to squeeze. Over here, it looks like price is kind of making some sort of direction. But if you look on the clean chart, there's like really nothing going on right here. This whole area right here is pretty much flat. All right, so let's see here if price decides to bounce off this support. So we got price right here at the support. It's pretty much tested it about 4 times. This is the 4th test right here, the hard test. 1, 2, 3, 4, quadruple bounce off the support. And okay, so this is perfect. I think this is going to be a fake out. I actually want this to break and close below it. So I want this to break and close below this area, fake out, and then come right back up, right? So I'm actually wanting it to drop below to basically lure in some more sellers. Or if anything, price might come down, retest opening price, and then come right back up. So I think this is key why. Oh, this is good that we've marked up the structure here on the clean chart because we can see the fake out happening here now. So you can't really see it over here as a fake out. You'll just kind of see it break below. But since we have this chart over here, our clean chart, we can see the fake out happening. The fake out might happen, might not happen. If not, it might just kind of sit around this area, which is fine too. But yeah, I am looking for it to possibly fake out here and then come right back up. Yeah, so here goes a fake out that I just discussed. So I probably wouldn't chase the sell, guys. I think the sell here is super risky. There's a couple different areas price can bounce from. It might just fake out right here, or if it comes down lower, it can come down to the opening price and then come back up from there. So it's kind of tricky. Personally, I think it's kind of tricky. I would just look for the fake out here. I wouldn't see this as an actual confirmation. I would see this as a fake out. So there's a V1 here that's actually setting up, maybe. And if the V1 does set up right there, I think this will just push right back up. Because it's doing the fake out just like I anticipated. If you guys want to take that V1 variation there, you can. I still think it's kind of risky because you're taking a really risky trade, because right now this could be a fake out to the upside, or it can be a fake out again to the downside. It might come down, fake out. You guys have seen this before. It comes up, fakes out, comes back down, fakes out, and then it comes back up. Like a head and shoulders, basically. Or an inverted head and shoulders. So just be careful with your entries, guys. Shannon said, I see why reviewing the recording is important. No FOMO. I'm in control finally. Nice work, Shannon. Yeah, no, definitely. So Shannon here just confirmed. She said she sees why reviewing the recording is important, because typically she would get a lot of FOMO and she would just hop into the trade right away. But now she's in control because she sees these fake outs happening. Like here I mentioned, these patterns have been repeating themselves over and over again. It's not like this is brand new. This has been happening for years and years and years. It's just that I'm more, with our different charts here, I'm able to really pinpoint where a lot of these fake outs are going to happen. I think this clean chart here makes a big difference because it shows you a lot of the structure without any of the noise, right? I don't have any indicators on here right now. I use the indicators to identify the structure, but then I turn them off. And once we've turned them off, we're able to see where these fake outs happen. So what I would look out for here is I'd probably look out for a buy signal, because price is at this fake out area. I think once we get the buy signal and it follows up with a following green candle, I think the correction will happen. But yeah, I think this here is a fake out, but it looks like it might be faking out in both directions. So I'd wait for a confirmation. I wouldn't just take a buy here just because. I'd wait for, some sort of confirmation that momentum is actually going to push to the upside. Yeah, Maddie said he thinks it's trying to go to open, but won't give a smooth drop due to the sentiment so high on the short side. Yeah, and I agree with you too, Maddie. So it looks like we might get a buy signal right here. I see a big green candle, so I see a buy signal possibly setting up. Yeah, there we go. Buy signal right there. I don't know if it'll close, but yeah, it's having trouble correcting back up. I think it's probably going to sit down here for a bit until it decides where it wants to fake out. And then it'll go in that direction. But there was a pending buy signal on this specific candle right there. Maddie said there's also a high-low V2 setting up for a sell, but buys might fake it out. Yeah. So there is a, let's see, we'll draw this here, Maddie. So there's actually one that's currently it's already currently active, Maddie. This one right here, the lower level. But yeah, I'm not going to mess with it. There's a high-low scalp V2 right here. It's probably going to go back and forth for a bit, but yeah, there was one that's set up right there. There's actually two of them that are starting to set up. There's another one off this previous level right here as well. I just wouldn't take any sells here because the sentiment's so strong for a buy. This is like a really big deciding factor in the market. The one thing that you want to consider too is also the news, right? The news was negative. So let's go back to that news from earlier. I mean, price hasn't really gone very far, but basically it came down from the news. So there's a lot of factors here that are kind of factoring into the market. Like we have the negative news from earlier this morning. That's kind of pushing price to the downside. We have the high-low scalp V2s that are setting up right here. I wouldn't take any sells though. and we have price correcting back up. So if you guys look at the fake out that I drew right here, it's doing exactly what we anticipated, right? That buy signal right there is trying to push up. I don't know if it'll hold, but if we get that push to the upside, it might be a correction right back up. So yeah, you just want to be careful with any sells here, especially when sentiment is like super one-sided. It's like a double-edged sword, because the thing is, when the sentiment is one-sided like this, you want to look just for buys, but then you also don't want to be too like, you don't want to just look for only buys, because there's going to be opportunities for sells that come up. And you can see this candle over here again failed to close with the buy signal. It's trying to push up, but it just keeps getting faked out, as you guys can see. Price pushes up a little bit, fakes back out. So this is exactly what I drew up earlier for you guys, right? So I mentioned the price will come down, fake out right here, come back up, fake out right here, come back down, fake out right here, and then finally get its direction. So basically a bunch of W patterns, like back-to-back W patterns for fake outs. It's frustrating. It's just kind of sucks, because I was hoping we'd have some more direction, but we had a lot of direction here, a bunch of buys, a bunch of sells, and then now it's just going sideways. We can't even get a buy signal here. So again, this goes for the high-low scalp V2. We probably want to use the higher level, because you get a better price going in from the higher level. So price broken close below here, faked out right there, came back down, and now it's continuing to go sideways. So there goes the high-low scalp V2 that is currently running right now. I'm not going to take it, of course, because the sells are a little tricky here. And there's just not much direction. If there was a direction, that'd be great. If I got a sell signal and followed by a red candle, then great. I would start looking for a possible sell there, but we don't have that here, right? I was hoping we get a buy signal and then maybe push up a little bit and get a sell signal and catch it on its way down. But the ATR right here is currently at 15, so it's pretty flat for the most part. Yeah, there's not really much here for us to take. I can't even tell if there was any momentum pullback scalps that have already been used up. I mean, if anything, it would have been right here, the momentum pullback scalp, or even down here. There's a lot of different opportunities. I just don't know what the ATR was at this time. Yeah, let's see. Andrew said it's crazy there hasn't been a momentum signal. I would think it would be coming often with price moving this way. Yeah, and I agree with you too, Andrew, 100%. That's how it's kind of a caution symbol, right? Like once you have that there, you're like, all right, I should probably not take any trades right now, because it's been going back and forth for so long now. We've had some pretty big green candles. Like we had this one right here. We had this one right here. And then it wouldn't close, right? It would come up and then it would disappear at the last second. So same with this one right here. We'll see if this one actually closes. It has about 15 seconds left on it. But this can easily come back down just like it did right there at the last second. And again, no buy signal. Same thing again, Andrew, same thing. So there's been a lot of opportunities here. I think the buy signal has come up maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 8 or 9 times. So we've had like about 9 pending buy signals, which hasn't closed out yet. Just keep going back and forth. Looking over here, we still have the sideways movement. A lot of the fake outs happening, like I mentioned. So fake out down below, fake out above. And it's really just consolidating around this area right here. I don't think there's new structure that's been built. Let's see. Let me check the indicator real quick. No structure. There's technically structure down here, but it's not really necessary. It's just a fake out. So you can see that it's creating an area for price to likely bounce from. So you can see how price kind of comes down a little bit, creates a secondary level right here for support. And it's trying to climb back up, but it's just not having too much luck here. Here we go again with another buy signal. But again, right there, it disappears. Man, I kind of wish I took the breakout from earlier this morning. I was tempted to get in when I saw the multiple entries for the breakouts and price pulled back to entry point. I was really tempted to get in for like a small little buy, but unfortunately, well, I mean, I guess it was a good thing because I was able to control my emotions. I wasn't like um not necessarily revenge trading, but in a sense, I would have been revenge trading if I got in because I already decided not to take a trade. And if I got in super late, that'd just be revenge trading because I missed out on it, or a FOMO trade, basically. Yeah, Camo said, me too. I'm taking all of them now from now on. Yeah, no, exactly, Camo. It looked good because, so for the entry right here, we had the breakout V1 on this buy signal, and then we had the breakout V3 right here, and we had the breakout V2. So we had three breakouts running alongside each other. So when it pulled back down right here, I was kind of tempted to enter it, but then I didn't because I just didn't feel comfortable. The entry would have happened like right here. But then yeah, price ended up flying right after that, and I just missed it completely. But a lot of you guys here did take the trade, so it was good. We got Nathan here with a total profit of 1,600 for the day, all wins. Nice work right there, Nathan. And we got Maddie over here, total profit of 1,650 on one account and a total profit of 188 on the second. So about 2,000 for the day. Nice work, Maddie. Yeah, you guys did pretty good. I mean, everybody here did pretty good. Whoever took those entries, I called out a lot of entries that came out. I just didn't take any myself because of the obviously the market movement structure. It's all good though. ATR is currently at 13, so you guys can see the volatility is very low. And here we go with another fake out. So here goes a fake out we were just discussing. We got the fake out down below. We got the fake out above. Price is now coming back down. Look for another fake out right here. Correction back up. All right, so we'll see what happens here as price continues to. I mean, there's not really much direction. You can see that with these fake outs, people are just getting stopped out on both sides, right? Whoever's chasing the sells right here, they would have gotten stopped out because price swung back up. Whoever chased the buys right here would have gotten stopped out because price came right back down, right? It's just fake outs in both directions. Here is the high-low scalp V2 currently still running in profit. So I wouldn't be surprised if this hits. So I think this will probably push down, hit TP, and then maybe fake out back up. Yeah, I mean, basically all the entries for today hit. I didn't take any of the entries though. I think the sells here are just a little too tricky. I wouldn't have taken the sells regardless. Um, I was kind of tempted when this came up, so the second entry up here, but either way, I think I probably would have held off on it because the sentiment was so high. Sentiment's 82% right now. So as you guys can see, you don't want to get too caught up on the sentiment here, but you do want to be careful. Like if it's this high, you definitely don't want to just take every sell, or you don't want to hop into sells because it becomes tricky. So we have a V1 variation over here setting up again. I mean, I personally wouldn't take it, but there's another V1 variation right there. It's tricky. It's tricky because I'm kind of waiting for that buy signal, but we just don't have the buy signal here. So let's see if we get a buy signal on this candle. It's probably going to disappear again at the last second, like it's been doing, or it might disappear and then it just might close at the very last second. But this candle here is kind of big, so it looks like it should be closing as a buy signal. If not, there's going to be a buy signal on the next candle. So it's probably going to come up on this next one. We'll see. So this here would have been a V1 variation. I wouldn't be surprised if the buy signal comes up on this one right here. But this candle was pretty big, so I was expecting the buy signal to maybe come up and then maybe disappear. But yeah, it hasn't. All right, so we just got the back and forth movement again over here. Not really much going on. It's literally just going back and forth. It rejected directly off the structure. So it's like a break and retest off the support right here. And we'll see if it climbs back up. All right, guys. So if there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. Just another reminder, guys, we're not having the mentoring session today. We're having it on Wednesday at 2 p.m. If you guys have a problem with attending that mentoring session, let me know. We can change it to either another day or another time. But yeah, there's just nothing going on during this market. So if there's any questions that you guys have, I can answer them. I'll be recording some new videos for the trailing stop indicator, the momentum pullback scalp levels indicator, MPS levels, the high-low scalp V2, and the breakout V3 and breakout continuation. So I'll be making a bunch of videos, hopefully this week. I'm really busy today and tomorrow, so I'm probably not going to work on them until the end of the week. But we will have our mentoring session on Wednesday to cover anything in specific. Yeah, exactly. Andrew said the signal pressing snooze button on us. Yeah, I know, because it keeps coming up, but it just keeps disappearing. So there's like two conflicting entries here. There's a V1 variation that's currently running right there. And then we have the high-low scalp V2 that is currently running right here. I mean, if you see any confluences in either direction, you can probably catch it for like a quick little move. I personally wouldn't. What I'm looking for here is I'm looking for the bias signal. I think that's the main thing that I'm looking for. I think what might happen here is price might come down, hit TP, and then eventually once it hits TP, then it'll reverse back up. Because all of our strategies have been hitting today. So that's kind of why I see this hitting its TP and then reversing. Or coming down to like opening price and then reversing, right? Maybe come down to this point and then reversing back up. But it's tricky. It's tricky because the sentiment here, well, it looks like a lot of the people on the sentiment here are now just flat. It looks like there's nothing going on now at this point. All right, so we got nothing right here. I mean, price is coming back down further. Full TP on the high-low scalp V2. So if you guys take the high-low scalp V2, I know Maddie identified this earlier. Doesn't really matter which level you take it from. Looks like it would have hit TP on either one. So you take the higher level or the lower level, it still would have played through, it looks like, for the most part. I should have entered right here. I didn't even think about it. I should have entered when price came down to this point because we had a high-low scalp off this lower low. There's a lower low right here. This candle broke and closed past it, faked out, came back down, and then it filled this entry, and then it pretty much was a confluence. So this is kind of what I was looking for. As I mentioned earlier, guys, I said if you guys are looking for a trade, look for the confluence, right? And this is the confluence that came up. I probably should have entered right here, but it's okay. I missed it. I wasn't really paying attention. It would have overextended a little bit for 100 pips right there, because you would have entered this for 100 pips, would have retraced back a little bit, but then eventually would have came right back down for the full TP. There's a ton of entries that came up today. There's a high-low scalp V2, two high-low scalp V2s actually. They both hit full TP. But it's just tricky because of the sentiment. The sentiment's so high, so I wouldn't be too comfortable taking a sell here. Yeah, Sisu said psychology, tricky to hold on to. Sisu caught it for a little bit. Rashida said she sat on her hands. Yeah, same here, Rashida. There's no need to force any trades today, guys. I think the good part is that we do have a lot of good trades that are hitting today. So this just indicates that this is probably going to be a good week for us. As you guys know, if you've traded NFP with us, it's either a really good week, a really bad week, or just a sideways week altogether, but there's no trades. With all the wins here on Monday, it's kind of setting the precedent for the next couple of days, right? So for the next couple of days, I wouldn't necessarily say, be too risky, but if you see an entry that you like and it looks like it lines up pretty well, then it's probably going to be a good entry for that specific day. But again, you want to carry this over to Tuesday. So Tuesday, you want to make sure that the market is still kind of directional. I think Tuesday will be very tricky because there's a lot of news. So tomorrow we have high impact news pretty much all day. We have high impact news at pre-market. We have high impact news at 6:45, 7. And on Wednesday, we have high impact news pre-market. We have oil stocks during the day, but it's not as big. But I think Wednesday will be a little more mellow. Thursday is going to be a lot of high impact news pre-market. Pretty much a lot of the news that's coming up is going to be pre-market. So I think the only day with a lot of news during our session is going to be tomorrow. So you want to be careful tomorrow. You don't want to just hop in and take every single entry that comes up because, I mean, it could probably not work out how you expected. The V1 is still technically running right now, guys. So the V1 variation is still technically running right here as price continues to, obviously climb up higher. I'd probably look for that buy signal. Once the buy signal comes up, look for that following green. And then if it does come up, it'll probably push through, hit the entry over here, and then continue going up higher. Yeah, Rashida says she wants a buy signal and take it back to open. Yeah, no, same here. So that's one thing too. If we get a buy, so I'm okay with the buy signal, but if we get a red signal after it, then you can ride that down to open. So that's kind of what a lot of people are looking for too. We can't get a sell signal here because we don't have a buy signal yet. But if we do get a sell signal and then it follows with a red candle, it's probably going to come back to open, right? So I mean, it can go either direction. But again, right here, there's no confirmation and there's no like real confidence in like either direction right now. Because two things can happen. Price will either correct back up right here, then and there, or price will continue dropping and come back down to open before it ends up bouncing off and goes right back up. There's just a lot of different opportunities here for you guys to look at. There's no one way to trade. So you just want to keep that in mind. Depending if you want to trade off structure, you want to trade off momentum, you want to trade off basically market manipulation. There's a ton of different entry points here. And I think that's what makes it risky because there's so many different opportunities. There's not just one. For me personally, I'd be looking for some buys because of the sentiment, but as you guys know, it's not as easy as it seems. You can't just take buys anywhere, even though the sentiment here is super, super heavy. All right, so 746 right now. I haven't taken any trades. I'll continue to look. All right. Sorry, guys, I just got distracted. There's nothing for us to take here, so I got distracted. 7:48 right now. We got about 12 minutes till 8. So again, if there's any other questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. I was hoping we get something here, but we don't really have a buy signal or anything here to really look at. Yeah, C6 said this thing is overextended. Definitely sitting on his hands. Yeah, I probably would be careful looking to take this to open, guys, because it is overextended. Let's see. So there's like lower highs right here, but I would be measuring it from this higher high because you can see that these lower highs over here aren't necessarily, I wouldn't consider them like strong highs. I mean, they're highs, but they're not really strong highs. They're kind of like where price was consolidating. Price came down, consolidated, and then now it came back down lower. So, I mean, if anything, you could probably measure it from this point to here, but I wouldn't measure these, all of them in between. We got a pending buy signal again right there, but it didn't close. It's just there's not really much going on here. Here's a clean chart. Let me see if there's new structure here. So there is some new structure here. There's new structure there. But it looks like it's probably just going to create a new range here again. I mean, if you look closer, it's a lot more obvious. It keeps creating new ranges. So like earlier we had the range down here. Then it broke into the structure here and it ranged. And now it broke below, and here's a new range. So it's kind of trash right now. How price is moving. Take this off. Let's go back. I mean, it's trying to inch towards the opening price, but I'm kind of waiting for the swing back to the upside if it ever happens. The ATR is super low though. You can see the ATR is currently at 13 right now. If you guys are looking down below here, it's not really. Not really changing too much. All right, so price is getting closer to the opening price right here. So you could probably anticipate a fake out to happen at some point. Let's see. The crazy thing is we've been looking for this buy signal for like over an hour now, basically. So we've been waiting for this buy signal to come up since like 7 o'clock over here, and it's never came up. It came up, disappeared, came up, disappeared. I think at this point it's probably come up like at least like almost 20 times. But I think once we do get that buy signal, it's probably gonna be the reversal. It's probably gonna swing all the way back up. But yeah, guys, if there's any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. If you guys have more profits to post up, feel free to send them in. We have some more profits here from Johnny. Johnny locked in a total profit of 5,460 for the day. Nice work, Johnny. Yeah, solid profits there. We got Felix over here, total profit of 1,990. Nice work, Felix. He had his earlier profits here, 1,020. Nice. So yeah, so Felix over here took the high-low scalp V2. He took it for only 100 pips due to the risky market, which was a smart decision there. We got Andrew here, total profit of 2,074 per account. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 accounts. So about 12,000 for the day. Nice work, Andrew. And Andrew got into that there. I was hoping he'd give me a heads up when he would enter, but it's all good. Yeah, I'm assuming he took the sell. He took partial of the high-low scalp V2, or he just wrote it down to open. But yeah, no, I'm just waiting. Because I know he was waiting for the buy signal just like I was, and never came up. It's all good. The sells here are just a little too risky. So again, if you guys are looking for the reversal, I would look for a buy signal and then look for the following green candle after it. But it's getting really close to 8 o'clock, so I might just wrap it up for the day. Yeah, Maddie said, I think it's going to shoot back up later on in the day. Yeah, and I agree with you too, Maddie. Vince said no trades for him today. Yeah, price smart move, Vince, because, there were some V1s that came up, but they weren't good V1s. They were all like super tricky because of the, the news and then a lot of other stuff that was happening. But I agree with Maddie. Maddie said he thinks it's going to shoot back up later in the day. So I think, yeah, it's probably going to hit 8 o'clock. And then eventually it's going to come back up. I think the correction for price is going to be back to news price. So news happened like around right here where that big candle is. Right. Yeah. So I think the correction is going to happen and it's going to come right back up to like this area here. I think this area right here is going to be where price corrects back up to, because it's going to correct back from news. You know, news can't just keep dropping down forever. It's going to have some sort of correction. And this is probably going to be the target price point for it to come back. You can see here that we have a bunch of green candles. Price is attempting to make its way back up, but it's just not there yet. It doesn't have the push. You know, it hasn't had that buy signal. Right, looks like we have a buy signal. We have a buy signal here finally setting up. But if it doesn't close, then we're probably gonna wrap it up for the day, guys. There's no need for us to sit around and wait for this to come up. I don't even know if I'll take this entry. I'll just follow it because you've been waiting forever. So we got this right here. If this ends up closing, I'll just follow it and I'll see if the next one comes up. I don't know if I'll take it and if it doesn't, I'm just gonna wrap it up, guys. There's no need for us to hang out here. All right, so it didn't close. Yeah, this is the type of market we're dealing with right now. You can see how it didn't close there, and then it came right back down. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for today. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. It was just kind of frustrating towards the end of the session because it's pretty much been playing all day long. This like buy signal has been pending since like 7 o'clock. So we've literally been sitting here for about an hour waiting for it to close so that we have a confirmation, but it just keeps coming back. I do think eventually, if you guys are going to continue watching the charts, you know, look for that buy signal. I think it's going to happen eventually. And when it does happen, it's probably going to go straight up, right? That's probably what's going to happen. Or like what Rashida said here, she said it might come down, hit open, this blue line, maybe kind of consolidate here a bit, and then come all the way back up. So a couple of things there to look for if you guys are looking. I think the correction will happen though. The correction has to happen because the sentiment's too strong. You can't just keep dropping forever. But the thing is here is that price hasn't really dropped very much. So if you were to measure from news price right here to current price, it's only dropped down. It's dropped down less than 1,000 pips. So realistically, it hasn't dropped down enough. It needs to drop down at least 1,000 pips for it to even be considered overextended. So it's not even overextended right now if you measure it from news price. So I do see a correction happening at some point, but I don't know when. It'll probably happen later today. But if you guys are looking for the correction, look for a V1 variation pattern or something like that. And target price point will probably be the news price right there. So if you guys do decide to take any trades, I would probably use a 50-50. Like if you see a V1 variation or something setting up right here. So for example, there's a V1 right there. And it's in profit. You probably even want to go farther, like 75, 75, so that you have that cushion. Because I think price will continue coming down a little bit. But eventually it's going to correct back up to opening price, right? Or not opening price, news price right there. But yeah, Rashida said tomorrow will be a better day. I agree. We just got to take a little more risk on open and, you know, take those trades as they come up, because this might happen again tomorrow. So you guys just remember what happened today in the market and kind of predict this to happen tomorrow again. So expect some volatility on open, and then it's going to start to die down and get flat later on into the session. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for today. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, we're going to wrap this up. Again, no mentoring session for today. We're going to have it on Wednesday at 2 p.m. If you guys need me to change the time or date, just let me know, and we'll see if we can make some changes. But other than that, guys, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys back here tomorrow.